Courage Unlimited, Chad Ikes, coming at you with another training video. Today, I'm going to talk about another pet peeve of mine, which is the eccentric phase of a lift. It seems like every time I go to a gym, and every gym I go to, people never seem to pay any attention to the eccentric phase of the lift. They act like the only important part of the lift is the concentric phase. But the eccentric phase sets up the concentric phase. Okay? If you do the eccentric right, there's a much better chance the concentric is going to go right and be a successful lift. So, I actually have trouble teaching this to some people, especially people that have been lifting. I have clients of varying ages, and if I get a guy who's been in the gym for most of his life, say he's in his 40s or 50s and he's been in the gym most of his life, he's probably never built up IAP, interabdominal pressure. He's never built the pressure in his muscle, in his body, in his brace. And he has no idea what that feels like. So one of the things I came up with to try and help people to do this in the bench press, so we're going to talk about the bench press today. This is a piece of 1/2 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe. You can get it at any hardware store, anywhere. So you'll see it's not very thick. It's actually pretty flexible. You want this to be a little flexible. You don't want it to be too tight, especially depending on how strong you are. Or this is a good thing if you're a trainer. I've had good results with this. So when we're bench pressing, I'm going to assume raw, because raw seems to be the most popular thing. You want about a 45-degree angle right here. Okay, so I don't want to be tucked in here. This is the old bench shirt days. Okay, which may be coming back, we'll see. But you want to be about right here. You don't want to be out here. This is the bodybuilder, like really trying to work your pecs and make your pecs do a lot of work. If you're looking for strength, you want to be able to use your back and your triceps. So you're going to come in about right here. And you need to have those triceps and that back loaded up when you come up. So, one of the ways of doing this, or the way it should be done, I guess would be better to say, is retraction of the shoulder blades and depression of the shoulder blades. I would even say depression is the more important of the two, although they're both important. So that is done with the lats. You'll see a lot of people bench press and they go, or even when they come down, they'll be like, well, you got no power out here, and you put your shoulders in an absolutely horrible position. You come down here, now you're tight and everything's good, and you can actually use your lats and triceps to drive. So what I came up with, after hearing so many cues, I've heard pull the bar apart. Spread your hands, pull the bar, try to pull the bar apart. People just screaming, stay tight, stay tight. And I'm like, they obviously don't know what you're saying, because you keep screaming it at them and they don't do it. So what I came up with, when guys wore shirts, what I used to do is I would have them grab the bar right here. Like this is the barbell, and I would twist against their thumb. Okay, so I would get your hand here, get your angle or wrist bend set, then twist against your thumb and then grab the bar tight right here. And if you can see this, okay, when I grab the bar, if I grab super tight, I'm squeezing it, see how my elbow's out? And it wants to stay out. How am I going to get my elbow to 45 if it's out here? But if you grab this bar, and just by twisting against this bar, watch my elbow. I'm not thinking about my elbow. All I'm thinking about is my hand twisting. See how my elbow comes in? And then if I continue to twist, with that and come down, I come in here and it keeps my elbows tucked tight. The problem with that cue is it works great for people in bench shirts, but it might make a raw lifter get their elbows tucked in too tight, which we don't want, because it just puts a lot of stress in the anterior delt and the positions not necessarily the strongest, because you don't have the supportive gear of that bench shirt. So I came up with this concept. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this bar in about our bench position. We're going to get our wrist bend and lock it in. Now we want our wrists locked. And what I want to do is I want to bend this bar up. I want to bend it in this direction right here, up. Not going out in front of me, but up towards my head. But I don't want to do that. I can do it with just my wrist. I don't want to do it with just my wrist. I don't want to do it just by twisting my hands or my wrist. So I want to get my grip. So I'm going to go like this and go, okay, where do I want my wrist angle? Wrist angle's right there. Now I'm going to lock that in. That's not going to get twisted again. Okay, it's not going to get moved again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to retract my shoulders. Now I'm going to depress my shoulders, pulling them down. And I'm going to pull them down with my lats. And just by pulling with my lats, I'm bending this bar. Okay? So you can see I'm not just using my wrists. My wrists are staying right where they're at. I'm bending the bar by pulling my shoulders down, using my lats to pull my shoulders down. And this is going to be a little tricky at first. And then I'll start people standing here. And I'll go, pull it down. Pull your lats down. You feel that bend in that bar? Okay, now then I'll have them like go through a bench and try to keep that bar with that same bend as you go through that bench. And you gotta squeeze those lats. So every time I come down, I'm squeezing my lats in there. So I'm here and I'm going to bend it up. I'm not going to use my hands to twist it. I'm not trying to twist with my hands. All I'm doing is pulling my lats down, which is pulling my elbows down, which is getting that bend in that bar. And then from here, what I'll do is I'll put them down on the bench, in the bench position. I'll bench with the same thing. And I go, once this bends in there, if I see what happens, if I flex my lats, if I don't keep my lats tight and flexed, the bend comes out of the bar. So here, I'm gonna do it right here. Lats down, elbows coming in, relax. See how my elbows come up and the bar straightens? And then push up. Push up. And even depending on where, I probably keep my elbows tucked a little tighter even when I go raw now than I used to. But it's the same point. Even if you're here and everything's tight and everything's set and you go, okay, shoulder blades are together, depress them. Now keep that bend in that PVC. Keep that bend in that PVC. And another cue, let's go on to another cue of this. When you're bench pressing, another thing I see a lot of people do, and it's partially because they relax their lats. They'll come down here, and you'll see them kind of go like this at the bottom. Instead of staying up tight and pushed against it, they'll go, and everything will kind of relax, and their shoulders will come up. And again, if they're sticking bent in here, that won't happen. But what I teach people to do is as you got your shoulder blades retracted and depressed, as you come down more, try to come up, try to pinch your shoulders tighter, get your lats pulling those shoulders down deeper, and bring your chest up to the bar. Bring your belly up to the bar. Don't let the bar chase your rib cage down or chase your chest down. Bring your chest up to meet that bar. And while you're bringing your chest up, you're squeezing everything in the back tighter. Big benches do not come from the chest. They come from the triceps and they come from the back. And if you learn to get those triceps activated right here, you're at the very beginning of this movement, just by flexing my lats. I've already started the movement. That's just my lats. That's my lats immediately followed by my triceps. So give that a try. The eccentric phase is very important. But you have to learn how to utilize it. You have to learn how to feel the pressure and build the pressure. you should be as tight as you can be at the top, squeezing this thing. And it should just get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter on the bottom. You know, you often see guys get bloody noses in the squat and in the deadlift as well sometimes. It's the same thing. You should feel that same pressure in your head. If you get up from a good lift, you should kind of be going, ooh, because of the pressure in your head, because of the inner abdominal pressure you got going on in your midsection, because the brace is still important in the bench too. After heavy leg days, or after heavy bench days, my legs are tired. So that's another video. I got all kinds of videos for you guys. So that's it for today. I'm gonna see it's getting dark out. I'm gonna go try to chill out for a little bit, because you know what? Even though sleep sucks for me, sleep is important, and I'm gonna try to get as much of it as I can, and you should be too. And there's another video. More stuff coming up. There's a lot of shit in here I want to share with you guys, because I want all you guys to learn to have the courage to pick a goal. Find what it's going to take to meet that goal, and have the courage to stick to that plan until you find it, till you meet it, till you achieve what you want. All right, guys, live life with courage. Chat out.